everybody. Good rainy morning. You see this hairdo? This is a hairdo compliments of the weatherman. The weatherman said curly hair does not do what I want it to do when it rains. So my curly hair has gone flat. It's crazy. But nothing is flat today about my co-host, because my co-host dressed in my two favorite colors. And I think this is so funny because last night I got a message from one of my precious homeowners, and she said, "What is your favorite color?" And I said, "Black with a touch of pink."
There you go.
Black with a touch of pink. So what do I have sitting next to me?
Well, I knew pink was your favorite color because 2 years ago I remodeled a bathroom for you, and you wanted it painted pink.
And you painted it pink.
I painted it pink. So.
I have a pink and black bathroom. Actually, I have black curtains up, and I have black little doodads sitting around because I loved Elvis Presley.
Yeah, you got little poodles all over the house and stuff.
Yeah. And
like
I've got
mini skirts.
Yeah. I just loved Elvis Presley.
You're still living in the 50s, aren't you?
I'm still living in the 50s.
The 1850s.
Yeah, the 1850s. That's about right. Let me tell you something that happened this weekend, and this is loaded for you. I felt my age this weekend.
About time.
I felt 59. Yeah, I felt 59.
I'm going to have to raise my pants, lady. You're getting deep in here.
I volunteer every year, as I have for 9 years. We open our office and we offer hot chocolate and refreshments to everybody who comes to the parade. Well, this year, I just thought it would be nice if our office is small, so we would have some of our agents there, and then I was down on the street corner in the Roberts building, compliments of Mark Zeman, and we gave out hot chocolate, hot cider, and cookies and cookies and cookies and donuts and cookies and donuts and suckers and chocolate and candy, and we just kept giving out. We were waiting for Santa to come. Santa didn't get to be with us. By the time he did the parade, it was a very long parade, it was very cold. Santa was feeling a little bit under the weather.
Uh-oh.
So we have all these chocolate canes, little Santas left, and we have all these little canes left. So somebody's going to have to eat them. So I'm going to have to walk the street and find children, I guess. But the parade and ball ground was over the top. It was also cold. There's a saying about colder than a witch is something, and it was cold.
Yeah, my dad used to say that.
It was cold.
My mom would get on to him.
It was so cold, but one of the highlights, my highlight of the whole parade, is Christmas Pete. Have you seen Christmas Pete?
No, I heard about him. Yeah.
Okay, Christmas Pete brings so much joy to so many children. And I said the only thing that could ever make the ball ground parade any better, Santa has a beautiful Amish sleigh that he's in, but it's outdoorsy. So by the time he sits and waits to do the parade, he's cold. I've solved the problem. Put Santa in Christmas Pete because he has heat. So does that not fix the problem, and then he'll feel better? The kids can't see him, I know.
Yeah, and
I know.
I don't put heat with Santa Claus. I mean, he's from the North Pole. He's not from the equator, he's from the North Pole.
That's true, that's true.
So
but
anyway.
Now, you are here today because you brought a guest, and we're going to talk about Christmas music because nothing makes you feel any more festive than Christmas music. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yep, I'm going to let her tell about it. I attend Cool Springs Baptist Church down in Tate, Georgia, right south of Jasper, and I brought the choir director with us today, and she's going to expand on what we're doing, and we're doing a Christmas musical, and we're going to do it at 2 different churches on the same day, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's the 15th?
The 15th of this month, December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not January, but
you know what
December.
I've noticed? There are a lot of things happening the same days, because last night I was watching the Jasper parade and I kept saying, "Where's Christmas Pete?" Well, he was in Woodstock at the Woodstock parade. So you have to kind of spread it out. So y'all have decided to spread it out with 2 churches, which is really cool, because you can practice and get it right, and then you can take that show on the road.
Yeah. Well, we feel like we can collaborate with different churches and have a good time with it. We're all on the same team, so you know, you might as well join forces.
That's right, that's right. And down at Hickory Flat, there's going to be another 2 events. I think it's on the 14th and 15th. They're also going to have Christmas music.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go, there's a reason to get out and hear some amazing Christmas music.
Yeah, there's no sense sitting at home. Just come on out and enjoy yourself.
That's right, that's right. Now, are you going to do a solo in this?
I might.
I thought you might. I just
might.
had this idea. I just thought, since he was the lead singer of a gospel group for 20 years, I just thought.
Well, yeah, I might. It's an enjoyable time, and
Yeah.
it's very rewarding, and I'm looking forward to it. I just got to remember my lines.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting old.
Gosh, oh my goodness, I can't believe. Now, can we talk about your age? How
Yeah.
old are you now?
I'm Social Security age now.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool.
The early part of Social Security.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
I turned
okay.
62 back in June.
Okay.
So
So
I didn't wait. I said, send it on,
no,
bring it on.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
There's a dude on TV or on YouTube that I've watched some, and quite frankly got tired of watching it because it was the same old about Social Security. But you should take it at 62. You should take it at 62, and I'll tell you why. My husband died at 58. You don't get it if you're dead. So the sooner you get it, the better, because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Well, I'm sure everybody's different. They may need it, they may not need it, or they may want it, may not want it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you know.
Well, they said you have to live to be 94 in order to catch up for what little bit you might lose by taking it a little bit early.
Maybe so.
Give it to me, because I'm going to, we don't know how long we're going to last.
No, but it's Christmas season. Let's change the subject. would
Let's
you?
change the subject on
I'm
being
getting
old.
It's making me feel old. Catch up
you're
with you
not
one
old.
of these days.
It is so weird because, speaking of catching up, when Matt walked in completely silver haired, that was so weird. That was just so
Oh.
weird because Matt did doctor his hair for a while, and then one day he just said, I'm not doing this anymore.
You gonna teach him how to wear a wig?
Yeah.
That wig's awful curly.
Yeah, I
this
know it.
morning.
Look at this. You know what I've got, and
It's not a wig.
y'all, everybody knows, I'm so excited. I cannot wait until January the 20th. I love President Donald John Trump. I bought myself a Trump hat, and my hair won't fit in it. So I've pinned it, I've poked it, I've done everything, and I finally decided it's not my hair, it's my head. So,
I wonder how he gets one on. He's
I
got
don't
a
know
lot of hair.
he's got a lot of hair. I don't know what's wrong with my head, but I can't get the dang hat to wear. And I thought one of these days I'm going to figure out a way. I'll have to tape my hair down or do something. But I'm just blessed to have hair because after
are.
going through COVID,
Yeah.
a lot of people lost their hair and it didn't come back.
True.
And mine came back thinner and baby fine, which is really weird because I had coarse and heavy hair. But we lived through COVID, we've lived through a depression, a recession, and now we're going to make America great again. And we're going to do it because you're going to get to retire when?
As soon as I want to. I mean,
Will you retire
I
or
don't
will
think
you
I'll
keep
ever fully
working?
retire because I like staying busy. I can't sit at home and do nothing.
Right.
I do have a woodworking shop, and I'll do some of that. But I started working part time, just helping out at Roper Funeral Home in
Right.
Jasper too. So
Yep.
I'm doing some of that. But
Yep.
if I'm supposed to be retired at the end of this month
Yeah.
from my business, I'm turning my business over to my son.
Right.
But I'm still going to work with him. So
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Is he going to pay you a daily wage?
You betcha. You betcha. I ain't doing it for free.
I knew he wouldn't.
Hey, Christmas to me reminds me of home. I see the sign up there that says home is where our story begins.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas reminds me of being at home, and I got a couple of little songs I'm going to sing you a line of for
You do?
Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
you want me to guess what the song is?
No, you'll know what they are.
Oh,
This is
okay.
not a guessing game. I'm just doing this for you
Okay.
and for the audience who
Okay.
may or may not want to hear it. I don't know, but
Okay.
it kind of reminds me of Perry Como in a way. But how about this one? I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams.
Yay.
Now, the part that gets me kind of scared about that is that mistletoe part, because she's looking around for it.
Yeah.
She's wanting that mistletoe hanging. Never mind.
Never mind.
Yep.
Let me tell you about that song. You must have seen the program that I gave my kids. I read them the right act after. I'm going to do Thanksgiving and Christmas a little different from now on. I'll tell them when to come. I'll tell them when it's ready.
And tell them when to leave.
And that's how we'll do it.
That's the best part. Tell them when
You
to leave.
finally, we get to an age that we're going to do what we want to when we want to.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we've always done things to please everybody else. And now you hear about that. We'll be home for Christmas. There are families that when your son gets married or leaves home for whatever reason, Christmas is never the same because his wife's
True.
family wants him to be with
Right.
her.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. And then when your daughter gets married and brings in the son-in-law, then sometimes his parents come with them. The dynamics of family changes.
Yep.
But you know what's always the coolest part about family is do it however it works. Make it work.
Yeah.
So I told them, I said, y'all choose a time a day a year that it's convenient for y'all, and we'll make it work. Because everybody gets so stressed, like, you know, I've got to be at my in-laws, I got to be at my outlaws, I got to go take this one, don't do it. Don't get so stressed about it.
Yeah.
Just make it a fun time
Make
at
it
home.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
There's another one I remember just now I was going to sing for you.
Yes.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, when you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays, you can't beat home, sweet home. I met a man who lives in Copper Hill, and he was headed for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie. From Pennsylvania, folks are traveling down to Dixie's sunny shores. From Atlantic to Pacific, oh, the traffic is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, if you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home.
True,
How about
true,
that one?
true.
You like that one?
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true. My favorite things.
I like the homemade pumpkin pie. So.
You do? I'm not a pumpkin pie fan. This weekend, it's funny that you're bringing all this up. I made a dish that I have not made since Angela died. And it's because Angela used to have to clean out the oranges for me. It's called Mama's Sweet Potato Surprise. And I sat at the kitchen table shelling out the oranges out of those orange shells, thinking this is my daughter's job. My daughter always did this. But I made it through it, and everybody said, oh, that's really good. How did you do that? And I said, my mama made that all my life. It's those memories that get us through the holidays.
Yeah.
Those sweet, crazy times. And the weirdest Christmas meal ever is what we do, and we have baby pizzas on Christmas Eve because my mama made baby pizzas the whole time we were growing up. And so I started making them for the grandkids 100 years ago, and they all liked them. So we still do baby pizzas. We do light finger food stuff on Christmas Eve. We do a heavy meal for Thanksgiving, and then maybe Christmas Day leftovers. But we just don't do that heavy Christmas meal, but we have those things that have been in my family over 60 years, and it's just the little baby pizzas.
I'm glad you told the people on the air here the truth. You said 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. When I was a child. You know, speaking of when I was a child, I've been going through a bunch of stuff, and I look back, and Bill, it seems like yesterday.
Of course it
seems like
does.
yesterday. Do you know, 20 years ago, I will have started the first television. In 2 years, it will be 20 years. And I'm like, that just seems so weird to me. Because it seems like yesterday, I walked on here and sat over here for the first time, and Danny Hensley and Roger Futch pulled one on me because they said, let's do a little test. I had done recorded television for years, but I'd never done live television. And they said, can you do live television, and do you want a teleprompter? And I said, oh gosh, no, I don't want a teleprompter. And they said, how are you going to know what to talk about? Well, for 20 years I've
They didn't know you very well.
Yeah, for 20 years I have proved that we can talk about any and everything. And so I sat down over here, and I did what I was going to do, and then after 12 minutes, I think, they did a commercial break. And then we came back, and I finished, and after 45 minutes, they went like this, and I said, okay, what does that mean? You know, and then we ended the program, and they said, congratulations, you've been on live since the first 8 minutes. And I said, are you kidding me? So they trusted me enough to do that, and I've done it all these years. I don't want a teleprompter, I don't want a script, I don't want to pre-interview the people, because I want to be as interested in you as our audience would be. And I think if I know all about it, then I don't need to ask questions. I just, ugh. So I like to.
Your improv.
Yeah, it's got to be spontaneous. And I think that's what I like about doing live television. So it's been fun. You made it really fun because so many people took you seriously when you were mean to me. And he would be mean to me, but he would be jokingly mean to me. And my phone would be blowing up, and they say, well, we don't like when he's mean to you, and we don't think he should talk to you like that. You're his boss. I said, no, I'm not either.
She paid me to do it, so, you know.
That's it. But it was so funny because people took it seriously. And then another time, Bay Cagle came on here, and she was dressed in a part, and she had a cigarette in her hand. And that day, my phone blew up, and people said, does she not respect you enough to know that you're allergic to cigarettes, and that could have made you sick? And I just cracked up. So
you never know who's watching.
No, there have been so many live moments. The day that I picked up my phone and a dear friend's number had been on the phone as I picked it up, I looked down and it was his wife calling to tell me he had passed away. And I had to come in here and do a live show 3 minutes after that. I didn't do too well that day, and I kind of fell apart because he loved to cook, and he loved to cook for me, and he would cook me cornbread and collard greens and all these kind of things, and it was just really sweet. So I told Roger Futch the day they brought me in here, I said, what you see is what you get. If I'm having a really, really good day, you're going to know it. If I'm having a really, really bad day, you're going to know it. I can't hide my feelings, and I can't pretend that everything's okay when it's not. And maybe that's what's made us make it almost 20 years. You know, because you know you're going to get what you're going to get.
Yep.
No surprises. No surprises. Everybody knows I'm tried and true conservative. I'm a crazy conservative Christian old lady. That's how I describe myself.
You pretty much described it.
And I'm getting older. You know, it's so funny. I said something Saturday night. I was invited to a party, and I got the food ready for it, and I made sure they had the food. But I wasn't able to go because I'd done the parade. I'd done a luncheon for our homeowners. I was whipped.
You're tuckered.
And I admitted it. And I went home and I sat down. I was going to take a 40-minute break, and then I was going. I couldn't. I was too tired. And I thought, oh no, is this what old age feels like? So be prepared. Get ready, big boy. You're coming.
I refuse.
Well, I had refused until Saturday night.
You need some Geritol.
Yeah, I do. Boy, I need some B12 or something. I was tired. I was so tired. And we're going to share some photos with you now. I've chosen some photos that my favorite ever Christmas picture ever was taken in this studio. And it is of Riker John the day that he found his shadow. He was here visiting with Santa Claus. So we're going to go through all these pictures. But this is the parade in Jasper. And the parade in Jasper was wonderful. It was a good event, and thank goodness everybody had a good time. And thank you to nopickens.com because Mary films this, and the Marger Law Firm was responsible for having it on there. And this is in our office. We had a baby lady. Now, this is the day that Riker saw his shadow. And to me, that is my favorite moment in all the television years. That is my favorite moment. That child saw his shadow and he did not know what to do with it. And he would sit down and try to touch it. I mean, he was really fascinated. And there's Jen, and we know that we had to say goodbye to her last year. She went to be with Jesus, and she's telling Jesus what to do now, and she's got Jesus in line.
Yeah.
She's got Jesus lined up. She's got him on the schedule. Yeah. She's got him busy, busy, busy. But look, when Riker saw his shadow, look at that. Is that not crazy? What a joy, what a joy. And this is our Santa from the Ball Ground Parade. We love, love, love him. Look at that. He is so fascinated with his shadow. I never thought about that. I just never. And
mine's too wide.
Yeah. Yeah. But is that not the sweetest thing? Now, how many grandbabies have you got?
10.
10. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that, when he saw his finger. And there we go. There's the couple of the hour.
Mr. and Miss Santa
Santa
Claus.
and Mrs. Claus. And this again is in Jasper at the Jasper Parade. And a lot of folks came out for that. That's Amicalola's float, and they did a really, really good job.
Couldn't miss that coming.
Kind of competing with Christmas Pete there. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And you know, that's what's so cool about the holidays. It brings out the biggest, the best, the brightest. Everybody competes with each other, and you try to do a really, really good job. and bringing a lot of joy to the community. So I hope that you got out to go to some of the parades, and thank goodness this rain didn't come this weekend.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
My gosh, it would have been bad. We were lucky, and that's one of my favorite floats, you know. And somebody had said one year they didn't want us to have it in Ball Ground because it was too spooky, and I said, oh, no, these kids love the spooky stuff. They love haunted houses, and they had a blast with it. So it's one of the favorites too. And you know, we did our window down in Ball Ground in honor of Coca-Cola Ball Ground, and we have a wonderful baker. Her name is Leanne Christ. And she does amazing Christmas goodies, and she made things for our event on Saturday.
It looks like calories.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, I didn't get to taste them. I think I did taste the cake, but yeah, those cookies were really cool.
They look good.
Really cool. Now, have you ever done a parade and been behind the horses?
Yes.
You know what happens, don't you?
I do, yes.
Your shoes don't look quite the same when you leave there. So.
I often wonder, back in the old days when people would take a horse and buggy to church.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Did they scoop and poop as they went to church?
Did they show up with the white outfit on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's the Grinch. Yeah. There's the Grinch. And those precious babies were on the show when they were just under, I think they were not quite 2, or maybe it was right as we were approaching their 2-year birthday, and they came to be with us, and now they're growing so fast, so fast. There's their sweet family and their bigger brother, and now this is why I was so whooped Saturday night. We had an event. It was my way of saying thank you to our homeowners, and so I just decided we'd cook for them, and we did. And by the time it was all said and done, Sherry was dragging, and I was really dragging, because if I miss a party, I'm dragging. So, and that baby lamb was in our office. It was 2 or 3 days old.
I'm sure somebody wanted to take it home, didn't they?
Oh yes, everybody wanted to take it home. So again, there we are, as we had breakfast, we had brunch, we had snacks, we had all kinds of good things. And I love that one. That was a Moeller Express. That was really cool. So, and yeah, I did that Christmas tree right there in honor of Angela, because I don't know if you remember, but she had a gumdrop tree in her refrigerator. So I tried to make one that was that size. So yeah, worked out pretty good. So we had a really good weekend, a really busy weekend, and yes, if I look whooped, I'm admitting it. I don't know if it's just age or if I don't know my limits. I think that may be part of the problem, because when people say, can you do this? Oh, sure, I'll be happy to. Then I look at my calendar and I'm going, oh my gosh, you're double dipping again. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Why did you do that? No, but you try to do all you can.
I don't ask you to do too much anymore, because I know how old you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if your kids love Elf on the Shelf, bring them down to Ball Ground, because he appears daily. A lot of days he's around for quite a while, and you are welcome to bring your kids and have photos made.
What's he, 8 foot tall?
He's a big boy, yeah. Now he's about 6'2", 6'4", something like that. Yep. But we had a really good weekend, and that is the building where we were prepared waiting for Santa, and Santa didn't get to make it because he just, after being out in that cold, it just didn't work.
He's old too, you know.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Santa's several thousand years old, so yeah, he looks very good for a 1,000-year-old man, doesn't he? But it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and yeah, it was sad to not be able to see Santa. And this is just a sweet memory of, everybody says, where was your favorite holiday meal? The Yellow Jacket. We always loved gathering at the Yellow Jacket. Many, many happy meals there. And there aren't many places like that where you can do a banquet. They have plenty of space, and they have good country cooking, because they had oh gosh, they had the best fried chicken in the world and the best cream taters.
Yeah, I remember eating there. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good, really good. And there's that boy. And again, these are my favorite photos. Now this, welcome to the world. Julie was born, I think, 7 pounds, 13 ounces, wee hours of the morning. And her grandparents are our next door neighbors, and they actually got the word. They had just left the event with us and got the word that water has broken. It's time to get to the hospital. So I think they had to run to Nashville to be there. And there's that precious baby. She's got a lot of hair. She's tiny, 7 pounds and 13 ounces. Congratulations. What a sweetheart. And there's the elf, and again, you just find him. He's all over Ball Ground. He hangs around our office quite a lot. And then there's our office. And again, if you have not voted for the best decorated office, I'm going to beg you, get on Facebook and go and vote for our office as the best. If we don't do anything, we ought to get an award for volunteerism. So volunteerism, is that a word?
Sure it is.
Maybe
you just made it up.
Yeah, I made it up.
Okay,
we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to bring a lady to join us who, does she sing better than you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
She's not going to sing today, though. Her throat's not feeling it, so we're going to
that's
talk a
right.
lot.
Well, we should have given her some pickle juice. You know, Selena always drank pickle juice
Yeah,
before
I know. That would ruin me. Man.
Well,
I couldn't sing a song. I'd be thinking about all that. Oh.
ain't going to work, is it?
No. I'd be doing a Carol Burnett.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back, and Leanne will join us.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Now that was my Christmas present to me from me. It's actually because Evelyn had posted it on I Love Ball Ground, and so we captured it this morning and you got to see it. All I want for Christmas is a little bit of Christmas Pete, a little bit of that holiday cheer, a little bit of that really feel-good music that he was playing in the Ball Ground Parade. He played different songs in another parade, but when I heard that song, I said, that is a song that just makes you feel good. So thank you to Christmas Pete. Now, Bill, tell me a little bit about what you two are conjuring up together.
Well, it's a Christmas musical, or a cantata, as they call it, whatever that means. And we're doing it at Cool Springs the 15th of December, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be a Mike Speck production, kind of like that's one that he put together. So I want to let Leanne tell you about it. This is Leanne Bagley, our choir director.
Hi, thanks for having me on today, Sherry
Yes,
and Bill. So I have to make one correction for Bill. He is for sure going to be singing a solo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I am?
Yeah, he is. And it's one of the best in the cantata. I don't know what a cantata is either.
What
Churches.
does that mean? A fancy showing up?
I really don't know. It's been said all of my life, and they say they're going to have cantatas, and I'm like, well, okay, we're going to have a cantata. So we just keep perpetuating the word. I'm
Yeah.
not real sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just ignorant.
It's a musical.
It's a musical,
Yeah,
and so, but it's really a worship experience. It's all centered around Christmas is Jesus. We are using the Mike Speck, but we've also added a couple of other pieces in with it. And so there are 2 opportunities for the congregation to sing with us, and not just us be singing and them to join in with that worship experience. And then lots of good songs. So you have songs that are, I don't know if the right word's high church, but they are very, very fancy. We have some that are real full of soul. We have some that are a little bit country. What Bill is singing is absolutely gorgeous about the night Jesus was born, and it sets up the stage for it beautifully. And he does a beautiful job in that. So then we've got some other soloists mixed in there. We have one young girl, she's 14-ish, I think, and so she was real quiet when she came to church with us. Her name's Ellijay. And so anyway, she's real quiet. And so I told her last year, I said, you've got to go watch Sister Act. You know, the little nun that was so quiet. And I said, but you've got to find that voice inside you like that nun did. And so she's done it. She's done it. She's doing it again this year.
Wow.
And so we're excited about that. It's at Cool Springs on Sunday at 11 o'clock at our worship service. And then we're doing it at Mount Zion in Jasper, not the Canton Mount Zion, Jasper Mount Zion. And it's at 6 o'clock that evening. And so one thing I think all of us are kind of proud of is we have a combined choir. We have people from Mount Zion, we have the Cool Springs Choir, and we actually have a couple from First Baptist Canton singing with us. And so I think it's nice when Baptists can get together and act like we're on the same team, and that we're not fighting each other in gangs. And so I think that's really nice. So very excited about it.
Yeah. Now, what kind of church did you grow up in?
It's a Baptist church, yeah.
Okay, and you, traditional Baptist?
Baptist, yeah.
Okay, well, I was telling you about my roommate who grew up in Pentecostal in Alabama. And I love the piano. You know, I just love, now, I always go back to your Aunt Arlene coming here and sitting down at that beautiful piano.
Yeah.
And do you remember at the end of her life when she couldn't remember to play?
Well, she played the
She'd be in the
same
middle of a
song
song.
over and over and over again. But, you know, that's fine. It was beautiful to me.
Yeah, but it just made you feel so good. And so that's this Christmas music, that's like a prescription for happiness. You know, you leave there just feeling pumped and amazed.
Well, it's our job to present the gospel of Jesus Christ in song to an audience, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
We're very excited. Practice has been exciting. I mean, it's a little long sometimes.
We've been doing it for a year and a half, I think.
Well, no. 6 months or so. You know, musicians start Christmas in June or July.
Oh, yeah, isn't that crazy?
They do.
Yeah.
And by the time December rolls around, they're 6 months into Christmas
It takes
music.
me about 2 years to learn a song. So.
Now, who plays the piano at Cool Springs now?
We have several, actually. David Richards, he's a local from Freeholm, Lathamtown area. And then Pete Jones, he is a former principal in Cherokee County. He's very hallowed. He has a Pete Jones Award. And so then
Linda Autry's been.
Linda Autry has come and played for us. And then we have a Linda Autry trained. Jeanette Williams comes and plays for us. And so we have several. We kind of trade out around. And so we used to have a guy named Gerald Talbot. He came and played. And
I remember Doris Eubanks. Do you remember Doris and Frank Eubanks from Jasper?
Yes.
Yeah, she played for years and years and years. Yeah, it's so funny. You always remember walking in and she was down there playing. And it's so cool. And it just makes you, okay, I'm ready for church now. I've heard that little song. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
We actually still have an organ player. Linda Stead plays the organ for us, and so it's kind of nice.
Love Linda.
We still have that.
Yeah, she's precious.
Yeah, she is.
Well, I went to church with Leanne at Mount Zion
I remember
for
that,
a few years,
yeah.
and so when she was at Cool Springs, we visited a little bit here and there, and so when it was time for us to land somewhere, I said, Lord, where do you want us to go? And he pointed us in that direction, and we're glad to be there.
Yeah. And you know, the reason I'm at First Baptist Ball Ground, I was coming to visit with you. I'd been a member of Cool Springs 25 years.
Really?
But after my daughter died, I just couldn't walk down that aisle again.
She went with all the blue-haired ladies, she
Yeah.
says.
Me and all the blue-haired grannies used to sit back there, and when the music at Cool Springs went a little contemporary, it changed for us, because the blue-haired ladies, and I tell all the preachers this, you need to get that choir director under control. Them blue-haired ladies write them checks every week, you know. If them blue-haired ladies disappear because they don't like the music, you need to think about it, preacher. You need to think about it. And at that time, you weren't the music director, but the music director, I would suggest songs that the old ladies would say. They'd say, why don't we sing so-and-so? And gutsy me, you know me, I'd go up there and give the choir director a list.
No, you?
He never did the ones we wanted to do.
Really?
And I thought, well, shame on you.
Yeah.
And so, ask me how many of them blue-haired ladies are still there. They're all gone. But most of them died, but I didn't. But it was
She'll
funny.
never die.
I was headed to Cool Springs that morning, and I was going up the hill, going to make the turn. And I thought, I cannot walk into that church yet. I still can't do it, because my daughter was married there, and I just thought, I can't
Well, I'm
do it.
looking for you on the 15th of this
I
month.
think I'm going to try to do that. But I did find a good home at Ball Ground First Baptist, and we have that old-timey music that I like. So, you know, and that's, I remember, Just As I Am, you ought to do it every other Sunday. Old Rugged Cross, you ought to do it every other Sunday. There are songs that people don't hear today. And to me, that's what church was about. Love Lifted Me. How many times have
Yeah.
you sung that for me?
Yeah, and the old rugged cross, yeah.
Yeah, that music takes you back to that place as a child where you remember walking that aisle, you know. And I think that's something that I think a lot of churches are trying to, I know you're bringing in the younger people, and that's important, and so you have to have some of that. But some of the old ladies need a little attention too, so.
Well, you know, I'll chime in because I have lots of opinions about music, and so I'm not against new music, but I will say I am quite a fan of hymns, Red Book, hymn book music. I think the theology there is deep.
It is.
Meat potatoes.
It
Yes.
tells you what the Bible says in words, and it's just amazing.
I think we're missing out on opportunities. Now, you may get hate mail when I get done, but
No,
I think
love
we're
it.
missing out on opportunities. I mean, I grew
Yeah.
up listening. My mom played the piano. I've grown up with that quote unquote old music, but I don't think it's old music. I think
Yeah.
it stood the test of
It's
time.
forever music.
Yes,
Yeah,
it stood the test of time theologically,
Yeah.
and I just think that stuff. And I'll just say it this way. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it. We try to blend a little bit,
have
but
to.
we're
Yeah,
singing
I
out of
get
the
it.
hymn book.
I get it.
But you know, I don't go to a funeral and hear new music.
No.
I go to funerals when people want peace and they want
That's right.
something. They
Yeah.
want to hear something that's
Yeah,
got
the
some
prettiest
deep.
flowers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precious memories.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
so I just don't, I think we're missing opportunities. My own children have grown up listening to Southern gospel and hymn book music, and I feel like we're just missing great opportunities with our young people of stuff they're going to need one day when life gets real hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
Well, I always think about softly and tenderly.
Yeah.
And you know, and you just, you know that
Sweet by and by.
and one Christmas, or not one Christmas, one Easter, we didn't do Up From the Grave He Arose, and I
Uh-oh.
left church plumb mad. I was so mad. They did a bunch of stuff that I was like, what? And it was like, everybody knows you do Up From the Grave He Arose.
You didn't
and
feel
they
like you'd
did
been
it.
to church,
I
did
didn't
you?
feel like I'd been to church. I still went and had me some ham and sweet potatoes, but I didn't feel like it was Easter, you know. It was weird because that music sets the tone.
Yeah.
And I've told you the day that I joined the church many, many years ago, I was on 10th Street in Atlanta, and I had on it was Easter Sunday, I had on this little hat. And I'd been baptized as a child, but I was about 14 when this happened, and that's when I really accepted Jesus. I'd been baptized as a Baptist, but that's when it hit me, and Love Lifted Me.
There
And
you
that's
go.
why that song means so much to me.
Yep.
And it will lift you from places that you think, I'll never get out of this deep, deep hole I'm in, and then it does.
Sometimes I think I shouldn't sing it because I sing it so much to her, but then I think, well, it means that much to her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just-
absolutely.
you sing it.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's somebody sitting in church today, in every church, that needs to hear the truth in a song.
It's true.
And often those contemporary things that are great songs don't deliver that message of true faith.
Yep.
And I think it's missing, you
I
know.
do too.
So
One of the things
I
that-
may get some mail over this.
One of the things that might bring a few folks to the cantata, you have some kids singing in this one too.
We
You wanna
do.
Tell them about that song.
We do. We have a song that starts with the adults line it up. You know, adults can never let, you know, themselves be left out.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the adults start it, and then the kids start. We have a couple of kids singing some solos in it, which is really nice. And then the adults kind of chime in behind them, and it gives a nice layer to it. We've got the adults and we've got the kids, and the kids sing out real beautifully. And so I think about 15 kids are going to sing, and so they're going to sing at both churches. They've agreed to do both. They've signed contracts, I've said.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
it's really sweet when the kids come in.
Did you sign them up with Motown?
Well, yeah, Motown and all of that. I will say, too, we have 2 sweet little manger scenes going. One is with some little kids. They're going to be up. And the little girl last night was just patting the baby doll. You know, she's taking care of it. But then we actually are going to have a live baby Jesus. He signed on also. The pastor at Mount Zion, Tony Ramirez, his daughter just had a baby. And so her and her husband, Lindsay and Michael Ray, their sweet baby Cooper is going to make his debut as baby Jesus. And so we're going to have a live baby Jesus. We even have a song about Simeon, which is kind of a, you know, obscure part of the Christmas story. And so we're going to have Simeon. We're also going to make sure there's an Anna. Bill's wife is going to be Anna. So Melissa's going to do that.
She's not singing, though.
Well,
Melissa's like me. She can't carry a tune in the back.
She loves hearing music, but don't ask her to sing.
well, she's going to be a great actress. And baby Jesus is going to come up and see Simeon and Anna, and I think that's going to be a real sweet aspect of that. And it's always nice to have a live baby, you know, especially a little one.
Cindy Ramirez will be beside herself.
How cool. Now let's talk a little bit about your pastor, because he's an amazing guy. Amazing guy.
Steve Wigington is the pastor at Cool Springs. Tony Ramirez is the pastor at Mount Zion, and Tony has led the youth there forever and ever. Him and his wife Cindy are fantastic at that. Steve is an unusual pastor, and he's a former drug cop. I hope it's not wrong to say that on TV.
No.
And so he did many years in the Marietta PD. And so he brings a unique perspective to the pulpit because he's been putting people in jail for years. He also has a heart, though, to help people who are struggling in their lives. So while he put a lot of folks in jail, he also is trying to work to see people not get in that condition. And so Steve has a real heart for people. So does Tony. Tony was working with them when they were young. Steve's working with them when they get a little older. But yeah, Steve definitely has a unique. His wife is Ginger Dinsmore from Ball Ground. She's the Dinsmore furniture folk, you know.
She's the Christmas decorator extraordinaire.
She is. Steve says that she has officially declared the house officially decorated, but I think she started it the 1st of October. And so now her daughter, Brittany, she decorates just as much as Ginger does. And so, they are the people. If you want to see their house and decorations, just call Ginger up. She'll let you in, and you'll get to see all the pretty stuff she puts out.
Yeah,
it's very
beautiful.
Nice. It is.
And it is truly a labor of love. Yeah,
it is.
And I love that they share it with people, and they do that.
They do.
It's amazing. Well, you know, when we think about Christmas and the holidays, we all pretty much have it made. But there are veterans sleeping under bridges. There are homeless moms with children who will have nothing. And that's one of the things, the Christmas Ball Ground Parade, we always ask people to bring toys for tots. And this year, I think that we did okay. But every single year, it seems like the demand is greater, And I know that our friend Bob Reese did the White Christmas, and he raised a lot of money this year, but also the need was more, because I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but the economy stinks. And people are struggling to put food on the table, so a lot of people won't have Christmas. If you know of a family that is hurting and needs help, reach out and tell one of the organizations, don't let a child go without Christmas, because there's somebody out there who can help. We had an angel tree at our office, and Evelyn was responsible for this, and I noticed that people have come by and signed up to provide Christmas for a child. And I think all of us are in a position we don't need anything. You know, I've told my kids, and they thought I was joking. I'm not. They're getting Trump socks for Christmas, and that's all they're getting. They don't need anything. And I just said, we don't need anything. So help somebody else and reach out and make a difference, because there are people in our community that will not have a Christmas meal.
What if your kids don't like Trump socks?
Oh, my kids know. They know. When all is said and done and you're rolling me out of Roper Funeral Home, we better be on the same page.
Oh, I hope I'm there when they got you in over at the funeral home. I got some plans for you.
He's going to put on blacks. You know how they do blackface? He'll do my Sherry Stone makeup.
My mind is spinning right now.
Oh, my gosh.
I got to get with Kevin on that.
Yeah, can you imagine?
You know, one thing I'll throw in, speaking of people in need, Cool Springs does have a food ministry. Lots of churches
I've
do.
seen that, yeah.
And in November, we gave out, they were able to help 48 families with a full Thanksgiving meal. But they had to turn some people away. We didn't have enough. So the lady who runs the ministry, Cindy White, she has upped the game. We're going to try to serve 75 families a full Christmas meal. Now, we don't serve it at the church. We give them the box of food. But we're aiming to serve 75. And I do not have the date in my head at the moment. But if you were to call the Cool Springs office on our office hours or check our Facebook, you'll know the date that you can come if you're in need, or if you know a family in need, please share with them, because we're trying to serve as many families as we can. A Christmas meal that they can take home and cook and do what they need to do. We also know of some resources that can be shared with people through that. I think they use the CARES ministry in Jasper, but for sure that needs to get out there.
Yeah, there are people who are missing meals, and I know my son-in-law and his brother are world champion fishermen.
Right.
And while they're traveling the world fishing, often they prepare a meal for the captains. And so they just decided it was time to come home and give back. So they prepared meals for everybody in Jasper who wanted to show up and eat. 400 people.
Oh my goodness.
Were fed. 400 people. And they're looking for a lady, and I hope that we can find her. She came and picked up 5 plates for her children at home. And we understand that maybe she's a single mom, maybe needs some help. And so the boys wanted to see, is there something they could do to help her? So if you know of this lady, she was, I think somebody said, I think I know who she is, but that was out of 400 people who came, that was the one that stood out as we need to reach out to her and give back to her. So, because there's somebody hurting that won't ask for help. There's somebody out there who maybe their power is going to be turned off and they won't ask for help. There's somebody out there who's really stretching it, because you have a choice. You can either pay your auto insurance or you can buy groceries. It's not that you can do it all today, because things have changed. Things have changed. It's gotten really hard. So,
but January 20th, we're going to see something real good happen.
Yes, we are. And I got to tell y'all, and you know how Brackett makes fun of me. Okay, I cannot sing, cannot carry a tune in a bucket. But I've been watching all the holiday tributes to, everybody was doing the Trump dance at their Thanksgiving meals, and it was hysterical. So I'm watching them, I'm sitting there laughing and looking, and he looked at me and said, can you do that? And I said, no, because I have no rhythm. And he said, well, I want to see you do the Trump dance. I can't do it, but I love it. And I love last night at the Patriot Awards when he did it. And I said, what billionaire who controls so many businesses has fun with himself, has fun with himself. And when people were talking about him last night, they were talking about his giving heart. And each one of us has a giving heart. Sometimes we don't give as much as we should. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we don't notice. But it's like when I went in the office and we had that angel tree, it really made me think there are kids who won't have any Christmas unless somebody steps up to the plate. So I hope that each and every one of us, whether it's donate to the food pantries, do the Toys for Tots, or find an angel tree, and find a family in need. When Cooter Nolan was a teacher in Jasper, she would call me and say, hey, we've got this family that has 2 or 3 children. They're not going to have a Christmas. And I'd say, give me the sizes, and I would go buy what they needed. We can all do that. We can all do it. Even on today's crazy budget, we can do it. So,
well, I'll tell you a Trump thing that I think you're going to need. I've seen these on Amazon. They're ornaments that have all the red lit up. It's got Trump's name and 4547. I have ordered some. They're nice.
You got a big flag flying out in your driveway.
I do have a big flag flying in my driveway.
Yes. Well, I'm honestly, I believe that we would have lost our world. And the one thing they talked about at the awards last night is God is back in line. We're bringing God back in schools in Kansas. They are taking out that stuff that you can't have prayer in schools. They are saying we will pray, we will salute the flag. We will do the things that we did growing up that made us good Americans. We will do the things that we were taught were respectful, that now, and I think what really brought me to light was when, I can't remember his name, is it Charlie? Anyway, he was in Times Square interviewing 18 to 21-year-olds who were going to vote their first time. They knew nothing about America. They didn't know who the vice president was. They didn't know who Abraham Lincoln was. They didn't know about a Spanish-American War. They didn't know anything. They couldn't answer the first question correctly, but we're going to trust them with a vote. we're going to trust them with a vote. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, that was very scary. Yeah. And the night of the election, about 8:30, my stomach kind of calmed down because I thought, we're going to do this. And I said, we should have listened to Tyrus, because Tyrus said all along, we got this, we got this. I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, but I think we've got it, and I think America's coming back to the good, and I think that we will see those flags, and it's so cool to go through a subdivision. And you either think, well, a veteran must live there because they have an American flag. Maybe just somebody who loves America lives there,
Yep.
Maybe somebody who just loves America lives there, but they're flying flags again. We're showing our proud. And it's like that kid who took the flag, he had his flag on the back of his pickup in school in Indiana. And he was barred from doing that, but also told that he would be suspended if he continued to do that. Well, now every kid at that school showed up with a flag on their truck. And then a company came in and actually wrapped his truck to be an American flag, which I thought was pretty cool. Then he got a letter from the school system, and they said, we're no longer going to punish you for, punishment for showing the American flag.
That's the equivalent of going up to a hornet's nest and sticking your finger right in it. It's the same thing.
Yeah. A bit stupid, But if you have an American flag, fly it. If you pray with your children. And I got to tell you this, my bestie keeps my little grandson, and she picked him up the other day, and her cat was going to be euthanized last Monday, but they didn't have to because the vet said, no, it just, got a little problem, but we're going to solve it, da-da-da-da. And she said when she picked Riker up Friday, he was asking about Mizzy, and he immediately said, well, let me pray for her. And he stops, and she said, I got cold chills hearing this kid pray. We can teach our children it's okay to pray.
Sure it is.
It's okay to pray in public. It's okay to pray anywhere. And I said, when we opened our luncheon on Saturday, I had one of our friends pray. And I said, we opened this development with prayer. The first thing we did with the first shovel of dirt was to pray. That we bring people who love the Lord and people who want to have a like community and want to live in a good area. And that's what we did. And we have that. And so I asked somebody to pray, and I was like, and he said, thank you for doing that. And I said, we need to get used to doing that, and it needs to be a regular thing. It doesn't need to be a every once in a while because prayer changes things.
It does.
Now there's somebody who needs your prayers right now, and we all know him and love him. Hans Rufert is in Northside Cherokee now. He has been doing the Ferris wheel of hospitals. He's been to Rome, he's been to Piedmont Mountainside, now he's in Northside. He's got some bleeding and some problems in a lung, and they are trying to figure out how to stop this bleeding. So please, please pray specifically for his lung for them to find out what's going on and to stop the bleeding, because that little feller doesn't have much blood left to give, And he is pickleball champion, which blows my mind. I mean, he looks like death warmed over, walking down the street. His back hurts, and he's in so much pain. But he loves pickleball, and it's given him a new lease on life. And now he actually was leaving a pickleball tournament when this event started, and he was spitting up tons of blood. So it was bad.
He's had a rough time.
He's had a rough time, and it's been 17 years since he left this set here at ETC, and on the way home collapsed, and they had to get an ambulance to come and get him. Or Karen Deaton went and got him, I think.
He had just done a national TV show, too.
He had just done, what was that? He came in 3rd place on the Best Cooks. Yeah. And he had just, he was pushing himself, and he continues to push himself, and we need to continue to push those prayers toward him.
True.
Because he's struggling. So, again, you want to give directions to Cool Springs Baptist Church?
Probably be good for Bill, because I have no sense of direction. I just drive there.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Well, Old Highway 5 or 53, whichever you may want to call it, coming out of Jasper, it intersects with 108 or 53 right there. And it's on the corner right there.
It's called Tate,
in
Georgia.
Tate, Georgia. At the 4-way. It's the big white church. You can't miss.
That's right.
I hate to say you can't miss it, because every time somebody tells me you can't miss it, I miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can miss anything in directions.
Yeah. It's so weird because I have a picture of my son-in-law on the steeple roofing the church. And I was standing at the foot of that steeple, and I shot it up, and the skies were so blue, and we used that for his commercial for years because it was just a perfect picture of that steeple and the blue sky. And it's so funny because those boys, when you go, boys, they're 60 years old, but when you're around them,
Well, they are boys to you.
yeah, they give you a little bit of Jesus and a whole lot of love, and that's what they're about. So it just, we're so blessed.
Well,
We're
we
so
would like
blessed.
to cordially invite everybody to come be with us this coming Sunday, the 15th of December, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock at Cool Springs.
And 6 p.m. at Mount Zion in Jasper.
Are you going to have refreshments at Mount Zion afterwards?
I'm having some, but you can't have them.
Well, I don't know that we've thought that through,
Yeah,
but
maybe people ought to eat before you come.
maybe you should eat before you come and then get full spiritually.
That's right. Well, you know, I'm all about we ain't eating.
Yeah.
We ain't meeting if we ain't
That's
eating.
right. Yeah.
So there
We're
you
going to
go.
be meeting though on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
again,
good.
December 15th at Cool Springs Baptist Church at 11 o'clock.
Come hear this lady sing one. She's going to sing one.
Better get there early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sherry, you're coming to hear us at one of
I'm
them?
going to try. I'm going to try my best. Yeah.
I'm gonna
plan
call her.
on it. Yeah. I know he'll be pestering me. I haven't been back in there yet, but I'm
I
going to try.
understand.
She
to.
needs some
Yeah,
spiritual
I'm going to try
help,
to.
yeah.
I'm going to try to. So I hope that y'all will remember those who are hurting, those who need our help. And on December the 14th, Wreaths Across America will all be ready at the Cherokee National Cemetery. We're going to go down there. We're going to shoot a special. We're going to talk about what we can do to give back for our veterans. There's a veteran living under a bridge today. Not acceptable in the United States of America. We need to do everything we can, and we know that here in Gilmer County, there is a whole lot of effort going to fix the memorial here, and we need all your donations, anything you can do to help. We're going to air that program again and explain to you how you can help, because it's very important. We let the veterans know how much they mean to us, because we know how much they thought of us, or they wouldn't have gone and done what they've done. So we know that. And I want you to think about those veterans as you sit down to your table, as you sit down in your warm home. Think about those that are often forgotten. We can never forget. We can never forget. And you know something we'll never ever forget? 9/11. 9/11. I think that brought more people back into the churches, back into the Bible. And they said last year, record Bible sales. Last year. Record Bible sales. That's pretty awesome.
Well, it is the #1 selling book in the world. So.
Well, they said last year was the year that they sold more Bibles than ever. I don't know why. I think somebody may be trying to tell us something. Maybe we should listen. What do you reckon?
Well, he's always been trying to tell us something. We just don't always listen.
We don't always listen. Well, I'm going to take my Sherry Stay, and I'm going to go back toward Ball Ground.
Hey, it's raining outside, so be careful.
I know it,
Not
because
run.
it'll all run down. Yeah. We'll see you again soon. Don't forget YouTube. All the programs we've ever done, we're sticking them here and there and everywhere on YouTube. So if you've ever been on the show, you might see yourself on YouTube now, because Tracy's putting them on there, pumping them out, and there are some old ones. There are some of people who have gone on to be with the Lord. A lot of folks have left this world, but we know they're in a better place, and we better get ready to go there too, right?
I'm getting ready to leave this world.
That's right.
I'm getting ready to leave this world. I'm getting ready for the gates of pearl. Go ahead,
There
sing
you
it.
go. Yeah, there you go. We'll see you again soon on The Sherry Show. Bye, y'all.